Like, that's the level where it's like, they did it. This is what Sonic was always supposed to play like. This is what, like, they finally captured the essence of the character with that fucking level. Like, that's everything that Sonic is meant to have been. Shit, I wasn't paying attention to where it said to go. Okay, it was Spagonia. Okay. That seems funny. You walk out of this area, go talk to the professor, and he tells you, okay, go back to where you were. I thought we were going to China for the next boss. But no. Egg Devil Ray. So, like, that's why, like, I feel like the next level, I forget, like, one of the levels in particular really is emblematic. Look, this one's not even piloted by Eggman. He's just got his little... He's got little robots in there on autopilot doing it for him. Woo! That's pretty funny. I think that's something he'll actually start doing a little bit more often after this game, where he stops getting in the robots personally and starts making, and just has them run on autopilot. Which, again, one of those things that the game is like, let's experiment a little bit, you know? In every game so far up until now. Ah, Schmuffy! Fuck you, die! Oh, I'm screwing this up for some reason. There we go. No, wait. Now I'm doing a little bit better. Now I'm doing a little bit. Okay, need to get my footing. Yeah, the boost right into him and run him down is always my favorite. Fuck you. Doing it again. What? Again! That's awesome! Ah, shit. Ran into the plasma wall. Oh, shit. If you listen to the dialogue, it's Ergo. It's Ergo Proxy who's like who's talking, being like, shit, we're getting hit. So it's like, you get a little bit of the impression that Ergo is the one piloting this robot during this boss fight, even though during the... He said, I knew this would happen, and it's Ergo's voice. So, like, it showed those generic white thoughts that you never really see anywhere else in the game, and we're just piloting that. But apparently it was Ergo Proxy in there driving it also? Yeah, it's a little weird. Again, just throwing whatever at the wall to see what sticks. But, like, the level design isn't quite there yet, but the gameplay is. Like, they nailed it. Like, this is what Sonic is meant to play. Like, I'm finally, for the first time almost, I feel like I'm finally playing as the Blue Blur, as the fastest thing alive, Sonic the Hedgehog. It's gonna take one more game for the level design to kind of catch up to the nailing-it-ness of the actual gameplay itself. Like, they came up, like, they got it, they nailed the gameplay, they came up with the perfect gameplay, but they didn't know how to make levels that would be suited to that style quite yet. Like, it's fine, and just going off these videos, you might not even necessarily get what I'm talking about, but there are more levels in this game than just what I've been doing. Like, I've been hitting the You gotta do these to advance the story levels. But there's a lot of extra content in this game. There's a lot of extra content in this game. And I'm not even just talking, like, the NPC side quests that you can do. I'm not even talking about, like, the hot dog challenges you can do. I'm talking about stuff like this. These, like, Act 3. I'm talking about Act 3 and Act 4 levels that are not mandatory to continue the game. You can completely ignore these levels and never touch them. Ah, that music, dog. That fucking music. And that's what I do. I typically always just ignore these levels because, they're not super good. There we go. Like this one, like, we're collecting Chao for this level. Like, they're just little, like, diversion levels. It's hard to even, like, how to describe them. Like, one of them is in the not, I don't think it would be Alaska. In the Antarctica level, it's do 3 laps around this track. Like, here's the track, do 3 laps as fast as you possibly can. Oh, come on. Yeah, phew. Whew. Got super lucky there. And they're, like, minor alterations. Oh, no. Like, it's the same level geometry, but, like, it's in different layouts, depending on, like, what the idea for that level is meant to be. Like, for the Alaska one I mentioned, it's that environment, but it's like a racetrack that is designed for you to loop back and forth. Not back and forth, but like to loop around in on, where it repeats. Like you're going in a big circle, basically. And this is a 2D one, where you're... God damn it. Oh, that was a close one. Fucking lucky I didn't die and had to redo it. This is like... apparently I'm collecting Chao during this. I gotta collect 10 Chao. And like there are a bunch of levels like this, both as Daytime Sonic and Werehog Sonic. Oh, Jesus Christ. And personally, I don't get a lot out of these levels. They don't really appeal to me. Fuck. God damn it. There we go. I don't get a lot out of these levels. They aren't like, yeah, this is what I want to spend my time doing in the Sonic game. Personally. Fuck. But it is content that is in the game, and it does provide like a different kind of gameplay challenge to do. So if you're the kind of person who wants to do all of these extra missions, there is a lot, like, I just wanted to explain, like, you might just watch me going through the story-mandated levels and not really get what I'm talking about. Fuck. And not really get what I'm talking about with, like, what's your problem with this game? What do you mean, what do you talk about your problems with the level design? It seems fine to me. Fuck! Here go! Anal beads! Like, levels like this are kind of what the majority of this game is composed of. There's, like, 10-ish or so levels that are mandatory. I consider it like Daytime Sonic is Act 1 and Werehog Sonic is Act 2, right? In terms of mandatory progression. But there's like so so many extra bonus gameplay levels like this. And those are the ones where I'm like, wow, this just doesn't appeal to me at all. And holy shit, am I sick of falling into that bottomless pit and dying and having to repeat it. This challenge mission that doesn't have any appeal to me whatsoever. So, like, when I talk about, this game, not for me, it ain't my flavor, this is more along the lines of what I'm talking about, of what I'm referring to when I talk about, yeah, this game ain't really my style, it ain't really my flair. Because you ignore these levels, shit! Whew. You ignore these levels, and the game's actually kind of really short. Like, you can get through it pretty damn fast if you're just doing the story-mandated levels. And you get kind of this feeling of like, wow, I'm missing out on a huge portion of the game by ignoring all these extra little levels, like this. But then you play those extra little levels, and you're like, wow, am I just not having fun right now? Wow, am I not having fun throwing all of my lives away? There we go. Fucking Christ. Falling into that bottomless pit over and over. It is nice seeing Chao again, though. Look at these little buggers. You never really see them in the series anymore. It's always nice whenever the Chao pop up. So, like, you feel this urge to, like, I do want to play those levels, because, like, I'm restricting, that's content I'm deliberately cutting myself out from. I feel like if you just mainline the story, you would miss, like, a good 30% of the game. There's, like, so much extra shit with all the NPC side quests, and all the hot dog challenges, and all those extra acts that are, like, challenge missions, like collect the Chao, or race around the track 3 times, etc., etc. That's all in there, but it all fucking sucks, and I don't want to do it. So, like, you could just go, okay, well, I'm gonna just restrict myself to only playing the story bits, and kind of blasting through the game, honestly, pretty quickly. And be like, oh, that's a good, like, that percentage of the game that I played is good, but that's not really a fair assessment of the entire game as a whole when you only played the main story. There's so much more that's in the game that you didn't play. And why didn't you play it? Because, man, do I not enjoy it, and is it no fun for me to play that? Well, that's a bad part of the game. For your taste. I'm sure there's people out there who that is to their taste, and they're like, yeah, I'm having fun doing that, running around doing these challenge missions. And if that's your thing, obviously you're gonna feel very positively about those elements of the game. And that would contribute to being like, yeah, I fucking love Sonic Unleashed. That's like my favorite one. Because it does the things, you get that uniqueness. You get those unique aspects to it that none of the other games in the series really did that. But for me, it's like, yeah, the parts that you have to do to finish the game are fine. Like, you had that one level that was the best level ever. But then you have, like, levels like Alaska level here. It's not Alaska. It's so not Alaska. Where I like how it looked, but the actual level geometry wasn't really fucking up to snuff, to be honest. And, like, the China level, which was amazing and cool from how it looked, being like, you're running across the Grand Canyon. But man, was it not fun falling into the water and instantly dying because I wasn't pinpoint perfect. And they're like to me, the worst level in the game is I want to say we'll get to it after the... No, I'm not... When we get to it, I'll tell you, like, this is the game, this is the level I was fucking talking about. I fucking am not a fan of this here level, boy. Like, this level, dog. Not great. So that's why, like, there's so many things about the game that are, like, that is one of the reasons why I don't put the disc in and play it. You know, because, like, the things that it does that I do like is the stuff that is conceptual in nature. Stuff like, oh, look, it's like the whole world. Oh, it's cool that they put the effort in on all of these NPC side quests, but I don't do the NPC side quests. It doesn't appeal to me to engage with that aspect, even though, as an idea being in the game, I do think that's cool, and I appreciate that it's in the game. Even though it's weird that you still slip and slide even though you're wearing cleats. Like, I think that's cool, but it's cool that it's in the game, but I don't actually like doing it. You know? And I like how, oh, you're traveling around the world, and I like the way the levels look. Like, look at these fucking penguins. Oh, look at him flap his little wings! Oh, no! Oh, look at him go! Oh, penguin dance party! Oh, it's amazing. Like, stuff like that's cool, but it's not really worth it to go through this, look, it's a slippery, slidey fuck. It's a slippy, slidey fuck, I'm gonna fall off the fucking platform level. Like, the things I like about the game don't make me want to play it. I just go, oh, that's a cool thing. Like, this game's cool because it did that. But it's not that game doing that makes me want to play that game. Like, I respect this game for doing these things that I think are really cool, but those things I think are really cool aren't, yeah, now I want to play the game really cool. They're just, yeah, that's nice that it did that. That's really cool that a Sonic game did that. That's really fucking cool. But it's not like it makes the game worth playing when you take into consideration all of the things that deter me from wanting to play the game. Like the questionable level design. Like... Actually, that's kind of it. The level design's really the biggest thing. Like, the technical performances also can be a problem sometimes. The fact that the fact that you do have frame rate issues actually contributes to the difficulty in getting through the levels. Like, you know what's a great thing to have happen when you're navigating a level with instant death? Like, drop pits all over the place? Having the fucking frame rate fucking obliterate itself so that you can't reliably fucking make the platform challenges because the game is freaking the fuck out and it's fucking up your inputs. Stuff like that is what makes me not wanna play the game, because it's just personally not to my taste. And I feel like those are critical flaws in terms of the level design. Having problematic aspects to it that make it a pain to play through. But then the stuff that's like, yeah, that's cool that that's in the game, that's still not my cup of tea. Like, for some people, even if you were the kind of person who were like, yeah, those flaws are there, with the frame rate issues and instant death pit syndrome. Those are problems, but hey, I can pop it in and play and do these fun side quests. And like, if that's something you have fun doing, that's the reason you're gonna pop in the game and be like, I'm gonna play Sonic Unleashed in order to do this thing, because none of the other games in the franchise I can do that. And you know, maybe you even like the Werehog gameplay segments. You know, I'm sure there are people out there. I mean, there are people out there who think that DMC Devil May Cry is better than the original DMC games. And those people are heretics and should be killed. But the people who are like, I don't know, like, the reason the Werehog sections for me are just so nothing is because, you know, I'm used to playing games like Bayonetta or Devil May Cry, or, you know, real character action games that are just a lot more fleshed out. So the gameplay that the Werehog has to offer is just too shallow for me to really enjoy. And then you have the people whose opinions just clinically don't matter because they're pieces of shit, who talk shit about the Werehog based on nothing actually having to do with what its gameplay is like, but just because it exists and therefore it is bad because it exists. So those people really shouldn't even be taken into consideration whatsoever. The people who are like, oh yeah? Hey! The people who are like, yeah, you know, the complexity and high skill barrier of games like Bayonetta might be a little bit too high, might be a little bit too restricting, and I can't really get into it, but the Werehog has just enough complexity to where it has all these combo attacks. Shohogken, Shiryuken, Shohogken. Fuck. Whew. Almost fucked that up. Let's do the Shohogken real quick. Yeah! Shohogken! Shiryuken! Like, maybe maybe it really does appeal to you. Maybe you're like, you know, something more is, I really would compare it more with God of War than I would with DMC or Bayonetta, personally. But like, maybe you do like God of War, and a Sonic game having that style of gameplay, it's like, yeah, okay, that's awesome. And that's why you like things. I totally get that. I totally get why you would go for this game. That's why I'm so insistent on clarifying, like, I don't think this game is bad. It's just not for me. It's not one that I would pop in and be like, yeah, this is one that I really get a lot of personal enjoyment out of.